Shalom, shalom. I'm your brother Kaya from GMS Camp out here in Phoenix, Arizona. First and foremost, is I want to give his all praise, all glory, and honor is to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rahakodash. Of course, I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders that have taught us his truth and rule well. I also want to say shalom to the speckled bird out there, even though you may look like the heathen, but are not the heathen. I also want to say shalom to the Akwath and to the Akim out there. I want to call this comforting scriptures, as it all falls apart. Why everything is falling apart and we're seeing the downfall of Esau, Edom. And of course, we know there are prophecies that we still have to go through. There are things that still have to take place, like the MOTB, Revelation 13, 16, and 17. World War III and whatnot, the things that are coming down the pike to say. But there's comforting scriptures for the elect and not to be afraid and not to be worrying or doubting, because we understand that Yahweh Bashim Shai is our guide. So when we view these things, how should we view them? Should be excited. In the flesh, yeah, it could be a little scary. It could be a little scary in the flesh, but we don't have that, or we shouldn't have that. What is that called? A spirit of fear. Because we've been preaching this all along. So everything is finally happening. Yahweh Bashim Shai is showing his elect men what he's doing. Bringing the downfall of Esau's kingdom. So the first scripture I want to get, right, these are comforting scriptures, is Isaiah 41 and 10, right? So we're going to go first. And bear with me, Israel, and hope everything works out, because, Satan started messing with everything. Internet started glitching up and everything else when you want to do a video. But if you watching some TikTok or something, nothing happens. Some folly. Isaiah 41, right? And verse 10, this is the first scripture we're going to get. Beautiful scriptures, gorgeous scriptures in the time that we're living in. Listen to what he says. Isaiah 49 and 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yeah, I will help thee. Yeah, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. And at the end of the day, Yahweh Shai is telling us what? During the time of Jacob's trouble, during the things that are about to come, these famines and all the food situation, Yahweh Shai says what? He gonna take care of his elect. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. This is a beautiful scripture too, because you can go into, what is that? Isaiah 65 and 13, for my servant shall eat, for my servant shall drink. Having the understanding too, what we're coming into is for the wicked. We're seeing the downfall of the wicked, the downfall of 2/3, the downfall of the heathens, the downfall of Esau, Edom. This is going to affect everyone. And it's a beautiful thing to see. But see, Yahweh Bashim Shai says, what? Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Who is he with? He's with his elect out of the house of Israel. Matter of fact, let's get another scripture, right? Tony, these are comforting scriptures. Psalms, what is that? 34? What is that? Psalms 34. And let's see. Psalms 34 and verse. This is Psalms 34 and verse 17. And if you look over to the right, you will see the NLT. The Lord hears his people when they call to him for help. He rescues them from all their troubles. So, when all these things take place and the famine and all these things that are starting to happen, and they go full force, we'll call on Yahweh Bashim Shai. And he says what? The Lord hears his people when they call to him for help. He rescues them from all their troubles. Now, at the end of the day, someone may say, well, see, that's all his people. That's all Israel. No. Because Zechariah 13:8 still stands that 2/3 of Israel that did not return to Yahweh Bashim Shai, they're going to suffer. They're going to suffer greatly. All those that mocked, all those that scoffed, all them that walked on by, all them that didn't want to hear it, all them that said that we didn't have the truth, All them that wasn't preaching Yahweh Bashmi Yahweh Shai, all them that took the 501c3, all them just snatching every dollar and dime they can from their what do you call it? Their congregation, and teaching them lies, telling them things, not giving them the 100% truth. They're not going to make it. Those that will be make it are those that did what? Exactly what Yahweh Bashim Shah said do. To the best of their ability, gave 100% truth. Didn't fall back, didn't shrink back, didn't make nothing up. Told the 100% truth. And the only ones that are going to do that are the elect men out of the house of Israel. Matter of fact, let's get another good scripture. Another comforting scripture. Psalms, what is that? 91. That's a beautiful scripture too. Let's go there. Psalms, what is that? 91 and 10 and 11. Matter of fact, we'll get that in the NLT too. Two beautiful scriptures. This is Psalms 91 and 10 and 11. No evil will conquer you. No plague will come near your home. For he will order his angels to protect you wherever you go. Once again, this is going to be for the elect. You know, it's going to be all right. It's all going to work out. Everything going to be good. We know that Yahweh Bashmi Shah is not a liar. We know he's not a man that he should lie. Now, does that mean that brothers won't be beheaded and it won't be martyrs and things like that? No. Those things are going to happen. Some brothers are going, going to be in concentration camps, going to be beheaded. Think about brothers. Also, brothers going to get spiritual powers. Brothers can be locked up in the concentration camp and get spiritual powers and break out. I mean, the guards can just be like, you know what? We overpacked. Get out. Was that the same thing? Was that Paul or Peter? And then when they were locked up and the angel came, opened the door and told them, hey man, get moving. You think it can't happen again? These things that you gotta look forward to. Even if you get locked up, even if you go into a concentration camp, even in a so-called in another country. We see what Trump is doing. The law he just passed so he can just take anybody he want and send them to Venezuela. Yahweh Bashmi Shah can stop all that. Or have you go over there and let you out and be taken care of over there. The possibilities are endless with Yahweh Bashmi Shah. Matter of fact, since we're in Psalms, let me see. Psalms, let's go up one, go up a few. See, look at this. Psalms 91 and 8. What does it say? Let's see. Only with thy eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. So at the end of the day, the elect are going to see the downfall of the wicked. They're going to see what Yahweh Bashmi Shai is going to do to them. That's why when you go into the book of Proverbs 1 and 24, I shall laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your feareth come. At the end of the day, who's going to do that laughing? Who's going to do that mocking? The men of the elect. The elect men of Yahweh Bashmi Shai are going to laugh and going to mock. Why? Because we told you over and over and over and over. And none of you listened. None of you repented. Kept doing your folly. Kept doing your bullshit. Kept doing your wickedness. That's why it says in verse 8 again, Psalms 91 and 8, only with thy eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. And the wicked is going to get a hell of a reward. There's another scripture I wanted to get to because I was thinking about, in the time that we living in, it's exciting times. Ecclesiasticus, yes. I don't need that. Let me see. Cancel that. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus, where I want to go. Ecclesiasticus, what is that, 25? Beautiful scripture, gorgeous scripture. Look at this. Ecclesiasticus 25:7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemies. And guess what? What are we watching today? We're watching the downfall of Edom, the Edomites. You know, we're seeing Egyptian against Egyptian. 2 eagles fighting each other and falling from the sky and about to slam and hit the ground. It was one of the brothers here, one of Brother Yuana, I believe. You know, he I think that was him that put a post up, and it was against 2 eagles that got locked together. Very prophetic. Slammed on the ground, dead. You know, right now we got the Egyptian against Egyptian. We also got these heathens, you know, right at Esau's neck with these tariffs and all this other stuff. See, this is the downfall of Esau's kingdom. Even though he thinks that he's going to, you know, go in his bunker and he's going to have a reset and he's going to rule with the RFID microchip. Yeah, he's going to get that off to a certain degree. He'll get that off a little bit to a certain degree. But it ain't going to go the way he thinks. It's all going to backfire. And we're all here to watch. See, we're going to be happy to see the downfall of our enemies. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's get another scripture. When all these things are happening, what did Yahushua say too? Because we always say, he said, fear not, right? Let's go to another scripture. What was I thinking? Oh, let's go to, bear with me, Israel. Let me think. Let's go to Philippians chapter 1. See, Philippians 1 and so I'm scrolling down. 1 and 28. Let me see. Yep. 27 and 28. This is Philippians 1 and 28. And in NLT, if you look over to the right, don't be intimidated in any way by your enemies. This will be a sign to them that they are going to be destroyed, but that you are going to be saved, even by God himself. Ooh, what? We got to read that again. We got to read that one more time. This is Philippians 1 and 28. Don't be intimidated. You know, intimidated regardless of what he said. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and whoop-de-whoop and whoop-whoop, wop-wop and everything else. And, you know, at the time he going to come down with the draconian law and all of that, concentration camps and all. Hey, you know what? I ain't going to say, you know, you're going to be a little nervous in your flesh. But right? But don't be intimidated in any way by your enemies. This will be a sign to them that they are going to be destroyed, but that you are going to be saved, even by God himself. All praise, glory, and honor, Yahweh. Y'all seen that? Y'all read that? Y'all heard that? And this is for who? The elect out of the house of Israel. So when you go back to scripture, I tell you, these are comforting scriptures as the world falls apart, as everything is falling apart. These are comforting scriptures. While we see everything crumbling, right? Matter of fact, tell us not to be afraid. Another one. Let's go to, what is it? Exodus. Let's see, what is that? Exodus, is that 8 and 14? Let me see. Exodus chapter 8. Or is it, hold on, let me see. Bear with me. Exodus, oh no, I'm Salakia. It's Exodus, what is that, 14. Whoop. Exodus 14, right? Exodus 14 and Exodus 14 and This is beautiful. Even with Moses, Exodus 14 and 13, right? In the NLT. But Moses told the people, don't be afraid. Just stand still and watch the Lord rescue you today. The Egyptians you see today will never be seen again. So in time when they try to come in as a flood, in time that these devils gonna do what they're gonna do, Yahweh Bashim Shai lift up that standard, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. But if you read that again, what do you see in there? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You knew this was coming. You knew this was coming. Yahweh Shema Shai through the prophets told you and warned you, hey, these are all the things that are about to come down the pipe. And then Yahweh Shema Shai through the scriptures say what? Don't be afraid. Even if your head got to come off. And it may be easy to say. Maybe easy to say. But you know what? Yahweh Shema Shai gonna be with those men even with that. It's already written. The war is already won. We're just playing it out. Matter of fact, what scripture was I thinking? Oh, get one more scripture. Let's get one more. Zechariah. Gotta get Zechariah. Chapter 8. I believe it was 7 and 8. Let's see what it says. Thus said the Lord of hosts, behold, I will save my people from the east country and from the west country, and I will bring them, and they shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God in truth and in righteousness. Understanding what? That Yahweh Shema Shai is going to save his people. Even though all these things are going on today and it's going to ramp up, you know, we see the beauty in these comforting scriptures. Everything that Yahweh Shema Shai says is going to happen is going to happen. You know, our brothers say, you know, we looking for the miracles, the delivering. Yeah, we're going to see the reward of the wicked, but we looking for the miracles. But anyway, you know, I'm going to say this. Hope you was edified. I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor is to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.